Hi, my name is Lenka and I run a small translation company in Vancouver, Canada. In this video, I'm going to share some tips with you on how you can succeed with your freelance translator resume with small translation agencies around the world. I'll be giving you some pointers and tips on what to do about your resume when you're starting out as a new freelance translator and you would like to market your services to translation companies. This video and our blog post might also be useful to you if you are an established translator but would like to brush up your resume and send it to some companies around the world. I'll be giving you tips from the agency perspective, working as a manager in a small translation company in Canada. So take this information with an open mind and good luck! If you're interested in more tips and advice on freelance translator topics, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Multilingostar or visit our blog at lingo-star.com/blog, where you can find more interesting articles about the translation industry. If you're starting out as a freelance translator, you probably want to send out your resume to translation agencies around the world. Have you already sent your resume to numerous or several translation agencies but have never heard back? Would you like to work with a translation agency but you find it really hard to put your foot in the door? Contacting translation agencies can be a very frustrating and daunting process. You may have sent out requests to many translation agencies, but you don't hear back. The truth is that small translation agencies have scarce resources and they don't have time to process translators' resumes. They're looking through piles of resumes every week or month, and they need to choose the ones that really work for them. You may be actually lucky to get in touch with a project manager, and when you do, it's best you don't get your hopes up because your resume might still be piled up among many others. Are you wondering why? The truth is that there might be nothing wrong with your resume. Your education is perfect, your rates are competitive, and you have a solid translation experience. However, translation project managers are often looking for people with some specific expertise. So if you do have that expertise, make it stand out and make your resume stand out among all the others. It's really important to understand that building a business relationship with a translation agency takes time. Many translators think that they will get the foot in the door just by sending in a translator resume, but that's often not the case. Project managers in small translation agencies are busy people and they need to have a quick fix. Your resume should contain a few elements that will stand out, so a project manager will give a priority to processing your application. If you do become one of the chosen translators, make sure you're open to constructive feedback in the first few jobs. You agree on clear terms and rates with the project manager, and you meet the deadlines. Keep building that business relationship. Be open and communicative, and deliver high-quality translation within the suggested turnaround times. Just imagine working with a translation agency on a regular basis. Wouldn't it be awesome to get jobs every week, every month? If you do become one of the regular translators, you will have a chance to work on interesting projects. Each project is different, and you will be involved in large translation projects or on short ones, but they all will be quite rewarding. Then one day you may be on holiday or have some family commitments, and that's okay. Everybody needs a vacation. The translation agency will understand. They will put a note in their file, and when you're back from your holiday, they will contract you once again. So just keep building that business relationship, because you will become the go-to translator. And that's an awesome feeling. So let's look at the 3 top tips what your freelance translator resume can contain so you can get your foot in the door. Imagine that a project manager is going through piles of resumes. If they have a project that they need to deal with quite quickly, they will want to know where you're located, what your email is, your phone number, and whether you have any social media accounts, website, or a translator's profile. So put those important bits right at the top of your resume and structure it in a way that it's very clear when the resume is open up on the PM's computer. I strongly recommend to set up a LinkedIn profile, pros.com profile, and a website if you can. If you do have any special skills, mention them all in the resume, because your special skills might get you a very interesting project. Sometimes project managers are looking for special skills. You never know what kind of job you will end up with. So if you love yoga, mention it in your resume. If you have any special skills, social media skills, mention it too, because that might just get you the job. In our translation agency, we've often had requests from clients for very specific translation projects. We did look for translators that have those skills so we can match their expertise with what the clients are requesting. So list all your special skills in your resume so a project manager can quickly locate them and understand what your expertise is. I also strongly recommend to set up a multilingual website. You already have the language skill, so why not have a translation into other languages? This way you can showcase your expertise and your skills to a number of multilingual clients. If you're translating from English to French, then you can have a bilingual website in English and French. If you're translating from Spanish into English or Spanish to Portuguese, you can set it up in all 3 languages. Here at LingoStar, we have written a guide on how to set up a multilingual website. So check out our website at lingo-star.com/shop and you'll find all the information you need about how to set up a multilingual website. My second tip for you is to showcase your main specializations and the recent projects that you have worked on. A project manager in a small translation company will quickly need to identify your specialization fields and your recent projects. They will want to match their project with whatever you have worked on already to see if there is any match and if they can use your services and your skills to produce a quality job for their clients. So if you're a specialist in a certain field and you've done several projects in that area, please put them together so a project manager can quickly see what kind of jobs or translations you have done in that particular field. If you're a marketing translator and you have translated a few websites for clients, then mention that expertise, and if you have links to those websites available, put the links in your resume so a project manager can verify that you have truly worked on that translation. If you're a technical translator and you specialize in geology or any other technical fields, again, mention all the projects you have worked on in that area and highlight your technical translation experience. If you're a freelance translator working in a general field or you're just starting out, focus on identifying your main skills. If you don't have any specialization yet and you're more of a general topic translator, highlight all the skills that make you a good translator. It could be your ability to be organized, to meet deadlines, and to be a communicative person. Are you only starting out? You're not sure what specialization you're going to have? Be open and mention that in your resume. Mention that you're adaptable to the agency's projects and that you would like to gain experience. You never know, because some translation agencies might be looking for new translators that they can build relationships with at suggested rates, and you just might be the person they want to work with. My third tip for you is determine what rates and payment methods you're going to accept and customize those to whatever agency you're going to work with. So if you're based in Europe and you're going to work with a Canadian agency, quote them rates in Canadian dollars. If you're based in the US and you're going to work for a Spanish agency, quote them in euros. A project manager will want to see rates, preferably agency rates, in the currency they work in. And the same goes for a payment method. A Canadian or a US agency will use very different payment methods than a European one. In Europe, you probably get bank transfers, but in Canada, you may get an e-transfer or a PayPal payment. So determine for yourself what agencies you want to work with, what country they're based in, what the currency is in that particular country, and what payment methods you're willing to accept. So far, I've given you some tips on how to adjust your resume when you're targeting a small translation company. Naturally, there are many more ways that a PM uses to pick a translator resume. We'll be sharing more tips for translators on our blog, lingo-star.com/blog, or on our YouTube channel. So check back regularly so you don't miss any interesting posts. You can also subscribe to our newsletter, see the comments of this video, and read our blog post about 3 top tips for freelance translators' resume. I wish you luck and thank you so much for watching this video. See you next time!